In other words, if you believe your life sucks and nothing good is going to happen in your life, you're right. But if you believe your life is amazing and you're going to attract in opportunities and people filled with love and light, you're right. Whatever it is you think, whatever it is you believe, you're right. That's Dr. CJ here with Pura Vida Wellness. In this video, I am starting my training on the 10th core concept, pure mind. So as you know, and if you've missed any of the trainings, just go into my YouTube channel, Dr. CJ Benkert. I have developed 12 core concepts, and the whole reason for developing these 12 core concepts is to help as many people as I can live a better, more joyous, pain-free, energetic, love-filled life. We're all here for a purpose. We're all here, in my opinion, to enjoy life. We're here to feel good. And there's so, we're born into this world, and we're these brand new little spirits, and we're so impressionable. And then as, life goes on, and the days and the weeks and the months and the years go on, we're just compounded and we're just affected by so much around us. And my goal, my mission is to help you and give you really simple, easy to use tools to make tremendous transformative changes in your life. So the 12 core concepts is a part of that. I've already gone over the first 9 concepts in previous trainings, so please go back and watch any of those if you have any interest or want to learn more about pure food, pure water, sugar burning versus fat burning, diet variation, or what we call feast famine. And then I go into detail on fasting. That's one of my core concepts. And then we have pure body, right? And then we have earthing, grounding, pure spirit. Last week I talked about pure heart, love, relationships. I'm going to do some training starting today with pure mind. Today I'm going to focus on thoughts. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are powerful. So many of you have probably never heard of this gentleman, but I woke up one morning with this like message that I felt was from like spirit or God, and the message was ritual commitments. And I'm like, ritual commitments? What does that mean, ritual commitments? So I started doing some studying, and I found a gentleman named Samuel Smiles, and he wrote a book back in 1859 called Self-Help. 1859, Samuel Smiles. And what he said, and I think this is so powerful, is if you sow a thought, then you reap an act. When you sow an act, and you reap a habit. When you sow a habit, and you reap a character. And then when you sow a character, you reap a destiny. So it all begins, in my opinion, quality of life, the amount of happiness that you have, whether or not you have anxiety, the quality of your relationships, the quality of your physical health, it all starts here between the ears, right? Mindset. So that's why the topic of this training is thoughts are things. So when you hear the word pure mind, I also want you to think of pure thoughts, pure intention, right? So Samuel Smiles knew that it all begins with thought. It all begins with what you believe. And that thought goes all the way through to develop like your destiny, your legacy, what kind of life you end up living on this planet. All has to do with your beliefs and how you think. It all starts with that. So I think that's really powerful. So the next thing I want to discuss, it has to do with thoughts, is the placebo effect. So the definition of placebo is I shall please. And for years and years, study after study after study, it has been shown that when you give somebody in a study, you split them up into two, and half the group gets, let's say, a drug, and the other half gets a placebo. They think it's the drug, but it's just a sugar pill, right? A placebo is like a sugar pill. The placebo typically gets just as good results, sometimes even better. So placebo effect is, if you believe it, it's true. In other words, if you believe your life sucks and nothing good is going to happen in your life, you're right. But if you believe your life is amazing and you're going to attract in opportunities and people filled with love and light, you're right. Whatever it is you think, whatever it is you believe, you're right. That's how powerful our mind is. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, a fellow chiropractor friend of mine, oh, did I bring it in here? Shoot, I didn't bring it in. Darn. So he wrote a book called You Are the Placebo Effect. Actually, it's You Are the Placebo, Making Your Mind Matter, by Dr. Joe Dispenza, fellow chiropractor. So he is a chiropractor, and in 1986, he just graduated chiropractic school. I think he might even still have been in school. I can't remember. He was only 23 years old, and he was actually run over by a SUV while competing in a triathlon event in Palm Springs. The accident left him with 6 broken vertebrae. He was told he had to have rods put in his back. If he didn't have the rods put in his back, he would probably become like a paraplegic. But because of his belief in the body's ability to heal, just like this bracelet that I wear, and I know it's backwards, but it says, I trust my innate intelligence. You guys, if you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that I love that word, innate intelligence. It's like this inborn power, this inborn healing. It's God within us. It's the power that made the universe lives inside of our body. So he had that strong philosophy of innate intelligence because of his chiropractic background. And he did not have the rods put in. He did not have the surgery. And he went home and spent hours a day meditating and visualizing those vertebrae healing and the bone filling in. And he just kept picturing hours a day. And if you get his book, I highly recommend it. I actually went through a book studying course through my church, where we studied the book every week for like 10 weeks. You Are the Placebo, Making Your Mind Matter, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So he goes into detail how he healed himself. And then the book has study after study after study, data after data after data, showing how powerful the placebo effect is. In fact, one of the stories that I remember out of the book, which is just so amazing to me, is they did these surgeries. So they took people that were deemed to need knee surgery, and they split the group in half. Half the people actually had the knee surgery. So let's just say it was like a torn meniscus or something, or maybe some, like chondromalacia patella, like frayed cartilage underneath the kneecap causing pain, just like some arthritic changes. So this whole group of people, they all had the same similar condition in their knee, and they were told that they needed surgery. Half of the group had the surgery. The other half had like little cuts. They called it a sham surgery. The other half had a sham surgery. So nothing was changed physiologically and anatomically in their knee, the group of people that had the sham surgery actually had better results than the people that had the actual surgery. I've never forgotten that story. I think it's so amazing. It's so powerful. So the fact is that placebo, even though it's just like what you believe to be or what has been suggested to you, it can actually create physiological, objective, measurable changes. So studies have shown changes in blood pressure with placebos, heart rate, various blood tests have changed from placebo. So no drug, sorry about that. So what you expect is what you get. So that's kind of like my saying from all that with the placebo. What you expect is what you get. What you expect in your life is what you get, right? So I highly recommend getting that book. Thoughts are things. What we think matters, and most people don't give our thoughts any thought. Most people just have, and that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. So we're going to do several trainings on pure mind. So today's all about thoughts, the power of thinking, the power of thoughts, the power of positive versus negative thoughts, the placebo effect, how powerful our mind is that you can actually heal 6 broken vertebrae in your back. And then the next couple of trainings, we're going to go into our ego, you know, like that, like our physical ego, negative self-talk, and then our higher self, that positive, true part of who we are, our true spiritual self, and the differences between those two voices in our head. Do you even pay attention to those voices in your head? And then I'm going to go into a training in regards to pure mind about learning, about opening and expanding your mind on a regular basis. You're either evolving and growing and expanding, or you're shrinking, shriveling, and dying. You're not just staying the same. And then we'll end the series of Pure Mind with the training on how important is it as we go through our life. And me being in my 50s, I know now because I'm in a different chapter of my life. I didn't think about this in my 20s and 30s, but now I'm starting to think about, you know, none of us are gonna leave the planet alive. None of us are gonna make it out of here alive. And as you go through your life, you get to a point, Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about, you know, this like different chapter of your life where in the beginning it's all about you and me and climbing the corporate ladder. It's all about ego and self. And then as you go through life, you start realizing it's about other people. And so the last training on Pure Mind, I really want to talk about like what's your legacy? What do you want to leave for your children, for your grandchildren? What imprint do you want to leave on this planet? You know, what is more painful? The pain of discipline or the pain of regret? So I'd much rather suffer the pain of discipline now than get to that point where I know I'm leaving the planet soon. And as Dr. Wayne Dyer said, I leave without playing my music. I don't play my music. I end up dying before I have a chance to play my music, to be and experience and love all that I'm meant to be and all who I'm meant to love and have an impact on. So we're all here for a purpose. We're all connected. Love is the only thing that's real. And this week's training is on pure mind, pure thoughts, pure intentions. Go get the book, You Are the Placebo, Making Your Mind Matter by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And remember what Samuel Smiles said, sow a thought and you reap an act. Sow an act and you reap a habit. Sow a habit and you reap a character. Sow a character and you reap a destiny. And that's why in 2018, when I woke up one morning and Spirit said to me, ritual commitments. And this is what I ended up finding that morning, researching about rituals and habits and, you know, sowing thoughts. So ritual commitments is what daily habits are you making, are you willing to make so that you can leave a legacy, so that you can have a destiny, so that you can know that you were all that you could be, that you experienced everything that you could experience. So I hope that helps. Just take one little thing that I talked about today. I think that my challenge to you in this training would be every hour set a timer, and at the end, and when the timer goes off, think to yourself, what has my mind been thinking over the last hour? Has it been positive? Has it been negative? Have I been thinking about things I don't want? Have I been focusing on problems? Or have I been staying in joy and in love and in non-judgment and focusing on the solutions to my problems and where I want to go in my life instead of what's wrong with my life? Are you focusing on what's right with your life, or are you focusing with what's wrong with your life? All right, peace to you. This is Dr. C.J. Benkert with Pura Vida Wellness, loving you, encouraging you, motivating you, being an example for you to live your purest life in body, mind, heart, and spirit, using the 12 core concepts. Go back to my YouTube channel if you want to watch any of the prior trainings. This is the first lesson in Pure Mind. And we'll have 3 more lessons this week on pure mind, pure intentions, and pure thoughts. Peace to you.